You have tuned into Between You, Me, and the Speculum with Dr. Ju. On today's episode, the conversation surrounds the future of medicine in our community, the need for equity, efficiency, and effective leadership for change. From Chicago, Illinois, let's join Dr. Ju as she continues to deliver.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Ju. It's Dr. Ju Delivers. And I'm here in Chicago, Chi-Town, and I am attending the National Medical Association's annual convention, and it has been awesome. It is a place where thousands of people gather annually, and we gather to learn from each other, to hear the latest, greatest in research, treatment options for our patients, how to manage patients the best, and it's also a time for fellowship. It's just like a homecoming. And so today, on Between You, Me, and the Speculum, I just thought I would share just a little bit, not about the National Medical Association, but more importantly, about the importance of Black physicians coming together to help our communities. Now, we don't only take care of Black people, clearly. My practice in Conyers is diverse. My colleagues are academicians. They are at top tier institutions throughout this country. We have not only leaders amongst us, we also have leaders in bona fide professional organizations, leaders who go to the Capitol and fight for our collective good and for our well-being. But we also have a focus on the next generation of physicians. And it is oftentimes said that if you can see it, then you can be it, right? If you can see it, then you can be it. And, I don't come from a highly medical background, right? I come from an educated family. Don't get it twisted. Even though my parents were raised in the Jim Crow South, and they went to school during that time, they were educated. But I only have, on my mother's side, my grandmother, we affectionately call Granny, was a CNA. Right, she was a certified nurse assistant, and she did that, y'all, to the last year of her life, and she died, I believe, at the age of 88. And then I have my Aunt Joan, who also served as a nurse. She was an LPN for decades and has always been the doctor of the family. And on the other side of my family, my paternal side, I have a handful of nurses in my family, but it didn't keep me from, because I didn't have, that I knew of, a physician in my family. It didn't keep me from trying to attain this goal of being a physician. But let me tell you what did inspire me, other than the fact that I've shared this with many people throughout the years.
What happened that night? You said things were fine. What changed? What are you avoiding? Men, talk about it. Why can't we?
Hi, I'm Dr. Julianne Adams-Burt. 43% of women experience a sexual problem, yet they don't want to talk about it. We can help you feel the way you used to. So talk to us. Visit RadiantWomen'sHealth.com today.
I decided to become a physician because A, I was good at science, B, I like helping people, and I wanted my life to be a life of service. And I will say C, because I knew that there were women who did not have that chance. And so I decided as an 11th grader that I was going to take up the mantle and I would pursue a life and career in medicine. But again, the reason why I paused on today's episode to share in the backdrop, I'm here at the Hilton Chicago on South Michigan Avenue. But the reason why I wanted to pause today, because these last several days and the last several years, over a decade that I personally have been coming to these conferences, but decades upon decades that this organization has been doing the work, they have been showing young black boys and girls that they too can become physicians, scientists. You know, they can become researchers. They can become healthcare professionals to help us in this fight to wellness. And I think it's important right now because during this new season, especially the last 6 months of this administration, you know, DEI has become a bad word. And we are seeing the statistics where ever since DEI has been essentially shut down on a lot of fronts, a lot of schools, if you look across the board, across this country, a lot of schools, their numbers have been on the decline.
When did this begin? How long has it been going on? Did you think it would just go away? Men, talk about it. Why can't we?
Hi, I'm Dr. Julianne Adams-Burt. 43% of women experience a sexual problem, yet they don't want to talk about it. We can help you feel the way you used to. So talk to us. Visit RadiantWomen'sHealth.com today.
Someone shared in a meeting today, I won't name the institution, but somewhere in South Carolina, where on average their medical school class, on average, the entering first year class of medical students, there were at least 20 minorities, namely black men and women, who started in the class. And now this year, there will be, I believe he said, just four or five, forgive me. But that speaks volumes. And I started going through, that just made me go through down the rabbit hole and go on ChatGPT. I use it too. And I started seeing all these numbers, you know, from 25% to 21%, 36% to 28%. Just the change. That's not even this year's freshman class of undergraduate institutions. That is from 2023 to 2024, when it essentially was ruled that it would be illegal to use race as a defining criteria to help, you know, equalize the playing field. That's all, folks. But I think we fail to realize as a country is that we have not been on an equal playing field in never. And yes, sometimes you need some rules and regulations. It's just like in my household, right? I have 2 boys in the home, and sometimes I just have to come up with some rules, sometimes on the fly, but I have to come up with some rules in order to equal the playing field. I give you an example. My boys, oh my gosh, they used to fight about who was going to sit in the front, right? Those of you with children, you know what that means. Who's going to sit in the front? And so we decided sometime earlier this school year, I said, you know what? You're going to take turns. And starting on Sunday until the next following Sunday, when you're going to change out 1 week. 1 week will be my older son Matthew, and then the next week is Miles' turn. Y'all, that just stopped the arguments. It stopped the confusion, and we held that, and it has worked until this summer. But that's another story.
I had been going to the doctor for years with heavy bleeding. I kept being told there's nothing wrong with me. A woman can tell her body when something's going on, and I just couldn't accept the fact that they were telling me it's the change of life. Dr. Burt did a pathology report and found out I had cancer. Just her compassion, her bedside manner, her care for me as a patient was just amazing. She saved my life.
Visit Radiant Women's Health in Conyers, helping you shine from the inside out.
And why is this important? It's important, y'all, because we know the statistics hold true that African Americans, minorities, in general, people of color, they fare better, health-wise, they fare better than the person on the other side looking at them in that example looks like them. So to take the potential of raising the next generation of physicians, to take that potential away from our young people is dire. I mean, we are living in dire times. I am worried even about who I'm going to see when I get older. Who am I going to be able to see for my care? The numbers are staggering, and how they're taking that away. It's not just in the bad part, DEI. It's in funding. It's in our history, in the history books. We're not going to teach. We halfway taught anyhow. We halfway taught the history of this country, the founding, the establishing, the building of our highways and byways and our cities, our high-rises, our residential communities. We don't tell the whole story, let alone agriculture, let alone culture. We don't give credit where credit is due. And it pains me that this is where we are, because we cannot think is that we're just going to look at the clock and let it wind down for another 3.5 years. Because there are people who are buying into this. There are people who are gloating and they are enjoying. But we will not stand idly around and allow this to happen. So we are doing the work here at the National Medical Association and on our regional and our state levels. For those who are not aware and don't follow me on my personal platforms, I, as of the last 5 weeks, am now the president of the Georgia State Medical Association, one of the oldest physician organizations for African Americans. We're not just around, fellowshipping for ourselves and singing Kumbaya. We're doing work to help the next, not only the next generation of physicians, help young people to see us so they can see themselves and their possibilities, but also the communities that we serve. So why am I sharing this? Because it's just been heavy on my heart. Like I've said, I've spent the last few days here with my people. And I want you to know, I want you to keep encouraging if you're educators, encourage your young people, encourage them into programs that are out there, whether it's run by fraternities, sororities, local colleges, universities, especially HBCUs. It may be the National Medical Association or other local organizations, whatever they are. Support them. That's my ask. And encourage your young people to not give up. Nope, we need them now and into the future. So, anywho, it's been real. I gotta go. This is my last night here. Maybe Chi-Town in the morning. So you take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.
The content shared on Between You, Me, and the Speculum with Dr. Ju is for informational purposes only. While Dr. Ju is a licensed physician, the information provided should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your primary care physician or healthcare provider before making any changes to your health or wellness routine. The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and do not represent the views of any medical institution or organization.